the 15th of September. I just gave him over $10,000. Even though my kid's 17 years old and doesn't go to school and is in the criminal system right now, and mom doesn't make him go to school. He never finishes grade 12, but yet FMP is making me pay money. Not only that, they wanted me to give him $10,000 plus as some kind of security, because I got in trouble. My lawyers were ripping me off back in 2012, 2013. And even though I had money in the bank, I couldn't pay FMP, but the lawyers didn't care. The judge didn't care. FMP came after me, took my license away, put a lien on everything I owned, and tied up all my bank accounts. So for 9 years, they've been harassing me, even though I have never missed a payment since that time, and I only missed 3 half payments. So I volunteered to pay half of what I could because I had to eat, but they didn't care. They wanted it all or nothing. So they put liens on everything, took away my driver's license, and told me to commit suicide. And that's the honest truth. They told me that it might be better if I kill myself, because then they would have control of all my assets, because the guy said, he bragged to me that he used to work in a bank and he knows how to get things done in that regard. So I didn't commit suicide. I guess FMP is pretty sad about that. So they couldn't keep all my money out of my account. But they have taken $10,000, put it in their pocket, and claim it's for security. Security for what? I don't know. My kids only have another year to go until I'm finished paying child support. Yet they demanded 2 years of child support from me, saying that, well, they might go to university, even though my kid hasn't even bothered to finish grade 12 and he's in the criminal system. FMP doesn't use any common sense. It's all about just beating the man down. And now they're phoning me demanding money, even though I got another 7 days. I usually pay on the 21st. It's only the 15th, and already they're phoning me and harassing me. So I guess I'm back on their radar for someone to bully into suicide, which they love that. I'm pretty sure that FMP has stocks in graves. But yeah, I'm just so sick of this corrupt quasi-government. It's a government organization. Highly corrupt. Anyways, I'm trying to get a hold of them here, because you got to get a hold of these guys fast. If you don't call them back,
the Family Maintenance Enforcement Program,
they will put liens on everything before you can even turn around and take your driver's license away. They probably already filed for that, even though they only phoned me about 1 hour ago.
On Monday, September 19th. Both our website and Infoline telephone service will remain available during this date. If you know the extension number of the person you wish to speak with, enter it now. Otherwise, please stay on the line.
So my caseworker, this new girl I have, is a quiet talker, but it's 5067. That's the extension. I don't know who she...
Hello, hi. Helen speaking.
Helen? Is that your name?
Hi, yes, hi.
Oh, can you speak up? I can barely hear you.
Okay, who am I talking to?
Oh, my name is...
Hi. Yeah, I called you this morning. I just want to remind you that you still have to pay the monthly payment, because those funds that we are holding is true security, so we're just holding the fund. And you still expect to pay the monthly payment.
Okay, so what did you call the money that you guys, that I gave you?
True security.
True security?
Security, yeah.
Can you spell that?
True, T-R-U-E, security, S-E-C-U-R-I-T-Y.
Okay, and what does true security mean?
We're just holding the payment. Yeah, so the agreement you had with the previous CEO was you still have to continue to pay the monthly payment.
No, but we're talking about the amount of almost $11,000 that I gave you guys, that now you guys are calling true security. Why do you have...
That was the agreement that you had with the previous officer.
With the who? The penis officer?
The previous officer. I believe her name is Charlene.
Charlene Singh was the
Yeah.
FM, my caseworker. Can we use full sentences here and so we know what you're talking about?
Sorry, I just came down from vacation and I don't have your case number now. Do you have the case number? Let me bring up your file. Hello.
Oh, hello. Well, you have my name. Can you look it up that way? You phoned me an hour ago.
I know it's faster if you can give it to me. Do you have it? If not, then I can search it.
Can you search it? Would that be possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Is it possible to give me your SIN number? That's faster.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just let me mark down the case number. Yeah, so that is the agreement that you had with the previous.
With the penis officer. No, I had the previous. I think what you're trying to say is previous caseworker. So you're apparently a new caseworker, but her name was Miss Singh, and she had been very dishonest, lied many times throughout our conversations. Maybe that's why she's not working there at FMP anymore.
No, she's still here, but it's just like the files got transferred to me.
So you are now my caseworker?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So I want to get this straight. So
Yes, of course.
yeah, so like full sentences, I really like that because what I'm doing is a documentary on FMP, right? The Family Maintenance Enforcement Program.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys told me to commit suicide in 2013 because the guy I talked to at FMP there said he used to work at a bank, and he said, if you commit suicide, then we take control of all your money, and then essentially you guys could just dip in and take whatever you want, right? Like how you give fines to people, and then you just keep the money, right? And you guys did that to me, and you've done that to many other people where you just give them these arbitrary fines. But it doesn't go to the kids, it goes to FMP, right?
No, it goes to the provincial government.
Who's the provincial government?
Provincial government of BC.
Yeah, the British Columbia government, right? Because
yes, that's correct.
The family maintenance. So that fine that you guys gave me when my lawyer was being very dubious, which this whole family law thing seems to be very dubious people around. They had all my money tied up. So I couldn't pay child support for 3 months, but I offered to pay half payments, and that's when I got enrolled in this family maintenance enforcement program. Now, that lawyer now has lost her license to practice law. So the Law Society of British Columbia gave her a spanking. She lost her license to practice law for not because of what she did to me, but she did some other really, really bad things that I guess what we call the family law cartel didn't like, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I never heard of that.
Never heard of what?
That's what happened because.
Just want to pause for a second here. She claims she didn't know anything about the history, yet I had over 127 messages to and from FMP explaining all the essentially the trauma I was going through. So yeah, it's an unfair statement for FMP to say they did not know my history, and that is on their website. By legislation, they have to keep those messages on their website.
Of what she did.
Yeah, well, that's why I couldn't pay child support for 3 months, because my money was tied up by family law lawyers when I had all the money in the world and all the intention in the world to pay it, but I couldn't because all my accounts were frozen because I was stuck in the family law, endless wheel, as lawyers were just robbing me blind to the point of $100,000 is approximately what I paid in legal fees.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, for sure. It is for a guy like me who does not make, that much money, right?
Okay. So, just now you said you don't understand why we're holding the money. So I just want to let you know that this was the deal that you had with the previous case manager. So
Can we use her name? Because it almost sounds like you're saying she's a penis case.
missing.
Yeah, what was her first name?
Charlene.
Charlene Singh, yeah. So, yeah, and she was
Charlene.
my conversations with her lead me to believe, and I have the recordings, a very, very dishonest person, right? Yeah, not straightforward, double talking, lied to me. So, yeah, I was very disillusioned, but I know that you guys are very powerful because you guys are the government and you guys don't answer to anybody. So, if you don't pay the money, basically she extorted almost $11,000 off me. So I agreed because, when someone has a gun to your head, you agree, right? If you're in a parking lot and someone puts a gun to your head and says, give me $11,000 and you have it in your pocket, well, you give it to them, right? Otherwise they may kill you. And FMP has already tried to kill me once, when they told me to commit suicide in 2013. So I paid the money, and that was what we call in the family law system an agreement, right? Whether your lawyer comes up to you, whether a judge comes up to you, whether FMP comes up to you and puts essentially a gun to your head and says, we can destroy your life or you give us the money. You give the money, and that's what I did to Charlene Singh, right? I gave her the $11,000. So we call that, what fancy word did you use? What kind of security did we call that?
True security, TRUE, true.
True security. Is that
Yeah.
who made that
So
word
that-
up? I never heard of true security before.
I don't understand. It's like a legal wording. I don't know who made it up. Sorry, but I just want to remind you, you still have to pay the monthly payment.
Yeah. So to reiterate, my son now is 18 years old. He dropped out of high school, so I sent FMP the paperwork to show that he dropped out of high school. I showed the paperwork a long time ago saying that he had no chance of passing grade 12 because he wasn't going to school. But now he's officially failed. And now he's involved with the criminal system. He was charged for, Crown Counsel out of Vancouver wanted to charge him for armed robbery. Did you hear what I said? Armed robbery?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You did hear or didn't hear that?
But as long as the child is still under the age of majority, which is 19 years old, you still have to pay the child support.
Yeah, and I'm more than willing to do that. But where there's a bit of a problem here is he's only how many months? 11 months away from coming out of the family maintenance enforcement program. Like, I've already proven that he's not going to school. He can't get into college and university. He didn't even graduate. He's got now a possible criminal record. It comes before a judge. So he next month, right? He's a criminal charges. The Crown, fortunately, I talked to Crown. They downsized the charges, and it's only going to be assault with a weapon now and not armed robbery. So that's good news, right? Mm-hmm. It's good news for FMP and the government. So where I have an issue is you guys asked me for 2 years of child support, yet my son only has 10 or 11 months left till he's 19 years old, and that's the age of majority where I don't pay child support. Right? Does that make sense?
We will send a child circumstances form to the recipient 1 month before he reaches 19. So we'll review at that time.
Okay, but in the meantime, this Charlene Singh demanded that I pay 2 years of child support, and then I told her, I said, my son hasn't been going to school. I've been very concerned about this, and then I found out that he has now criminal charges. So he's not going to get into any kind of university or college. So he will age out at the age of 19. And I mean, I sent you guys the proof. I mean, I can even send you a copy of the recording of the criminal matter in front of the judge, even though you're not allowed to record a judge because, the system's corrupt, right? And they don't want people to know what goes on in their courtrooms. But essentially, Miss Singh said that I had to give him 2 years of child support. So more than an extra year of child support, as she never called it true security, but I guess that's a new government word. Maybe John Horgan invented it, right? Because he doesn't really like dads too much, right? But anyway, the default setting is me as a dad. I'm a deadbeat dad, right? And I'm a liar, and
I
even
never-
and
I
even
never
the
said that.
and
I
well,
never
no,
said
but
that.
you never said the words, but the actions speak louder than
I
words, right?
didn't do any action. I just want to let you know that you still have to pay the monthly support.
But the actions were by your partner, Singh, right? Charlene Singh, who told me I have to give her 2 years of child support up front as security because I'm a deadbeat dad. And I said, well, my son only has 11 months to go until he ages out of the system. Doesn't matter, she said. You're a deadbeat. You're a piece of crap, and you have to pay. And,
But I don't believe she said that.
well, of course she
kind of-
didn't say that. It's
Yeah.
actions, right? So what FMP is good at guarding their words, but their actions speak as loud as words, right? So you guys have 2 years of child support payments in your bank account that I had to give you. Yeah, and so 2 years of child support payments are in your bank account, and you just called me up. It's the 15th of September. Normally, I make my payments on what day is that?
1 second. The 1st, September 1st.
Well,
So
I've been making payments for the last 9 years on the 21st of the month for the last 9 years. So what is different today?
I just want to let you know that the order said you're supposed to pay on the 1st of each month. And the reason why I call you just a reminder. So you have until the end of the month to pay the $394.
Is that like kind of a threat, or
It's not a threat because I
so
just want to remind you.
right? So and I know
So
what
if you didn't pay within the month, then that means that the payment's due. Like you didn't pay, so you owe that amount of money.
and what normally happens to a dad that doesn't pay.
So usually, if you miss payment in 2 times in 1 calendar year, then you get charged of 1 month child support, so which will be $394.
So you basically you see you're not using full language, right? Are you so you get the recipient or the payer, which is me, the dad. If I miss 2 payments in 1 calendar year, I get a fine. Is that correct?
Yes. So the fine will be going to the provincial government.
Okay, yeah, no, that's important. So does FMP care? Does it make any difference why a person
So we're
couldn't?
very busy today because I just came back from holiday. So I just want to remind you and let you know that those money is true security. You still need to pay the monthly payment. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's up to you whether you want to make the payment or not.
Well,
Cut in here for a second. When I got the message from FMP an hour previous to this conversation, I quickly went to my online banking, and even though my payment usually comes out on the 21st of every month, I immediately made a extra payment because it's so close now to my child support being over. Possibly, I've heard people pay until their kids are 30 years old if their FMP is pretty corrupt that way. But I quickly made an extra payment. I'm not sure if it's going to count as this month's payment or they're going to keep both payments. I'm not sure, but I had to just make a payment. I could not afford to lose my driver's license again. have my credit rating destroyed again after 9 years of building it up again, and have them freeze all my bank accounts. So I just had to accept and quickly make a quick online payment. Now she will tell me that it doesn't register for a few days. So in that amount of time, she will probably still charge me interest. It's another tactic by FMP. They make absolutely hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars by charging all these mysterious interest charges. I've paid interest payments for over 9 years. Sometimes it's just like 50 cents, sometimes it's 75 cents. But if you multiply that over hundreds of thousands of parents paying child support, mostly men, but parents paying child support, and FMP, the government, stealing 75 cents here, $1 there off each person equals a lot of money. And then, of course, they hand out arbitrary fines, and she has already admitted here that the BC government keeps that money. So FMP essentially is a business. They know all the trials and tribulations I've been through with FMP, with essentially what's called the family law cartel, and there's absolutely no empathy. They do not care about children. FMP and the BC government is all about money, 100% about money, and I've done other videos on that. So I'll let you get back to the video.
I'm very busy today because I just came back from holiday, so I just want to remind you and let you know that those money is true security. You still need to pay the monthly payment, that's all.
Yeah.
So it's up to you whether you want to make the payment or not.
Well, you have to make the payment. I'm a dad. There's no, like, even if you don't have the money. I remember,
So
I remember back.
We are like making a circle here, back and forth, but I'm just like want to remind you. That's all. That's all I need.
Yeah, well, so I appreciate
So I got the message. Then if there's nothing else I can help you, then I need to let you go because.
Well, do you understand when you talk to parents? Many parents are very distressed because they know.
I do understand.
So why would you cut them off and just want to hang up on them?
No, because I'm very busy today and I work.
Too busy.
Too busy.
You know
that the reason why I call you and you got the message that's all I need to do. So
that's all you need to do. And you don't care about dads. You don't care about all the suicide that you guys cause.
Not that I care or not because it's not up to me. Like
so you're not a human. You're not a human being. You're not a Canadian. Were you some call center from another country? Are you a Canadian? Do you not care?
Is there anything I can help you?
Well, the reason I called you back is as soon as I hear that FMP is called, my heart starts racing, right? Because I know how cruel and how much stress that you guys caused me in the past, right? And I was told to commit suicide, and I almost did commit suicide in 2013 for what FMP did. They took my driver's license, they took my passport, which didn't matter. I didn't have any money anyways, and they almost lost my job because of it, and the stress was just insurmountable. So I wanted to call you back right away, and you called 1 hour ago, and today's the 15th. That as soon as I came home and I got your message, I put the money in the FMP account. So don't you see it there?
It won't show right away.
Oh, how long does it take to show?
Usually it will take 2 to 3 business days.
I did a direct deposit.
Yeah, still will show taking 2 to 3 business days.
Oh, okay. So I guess my next question is, after 2013, when I became extremely distressed, I got to the point where I couldn't even deal with FMP. I had borrowed some money, and I paid FMP. I paid the fines, which apparently didn't go to my kids. They went to the BC government. And I paid everything that I owed FMP. Not that I didn't have the money. It's I didn't have access to the money, right? So I had to borrow it from a family member, and now I've paid the family member back. So every month out of my bank account on the 21st, and today's the 15th. That's why I don't understand why I'm getting this harassing phone call. Because don't say it's not harassing, because it is harassing. It is harassing because if you're dysfunctional and you call me 3 days, it's 6 days prior to the payment time. I've been making payments for 9 years straight on the 21st. I can show you my banking records every month. On the 21st, for the last 9 years solid, I have never missed a payment, and it's come out on the 21st. Now FMP is calling me on the 15th of the month. That makes me a little curious why you would harass me prior to the 21st. And the second thing I got to say is I noticed that you guys have been charging me interest for 9 years. So I said, after FMP told me to commit suicide in 2013, because he said he worked for a bank and he knew he would have control of my money if I committed suicide, and essentially nobody would know how much the BC government took from me, right? And FMP, the secret organization, took from me and put in their own pockets, right? But I looked back on my records, and it seems you guys have been charging me interest for 9 years, and you never gave me a phone call in those 9 years. So you guys have been charging me for 9 years. You knew that the payment was due on the 1st, and I was paying on the 21st. For 9 years, you guys didn't give me a phone call. You kept pocketing that interest, because you knew you're getting paid, but why not get a little bit of extra interest money, right? What is the reason you guys didn't call me for 9 years?
I have no foundation on that because I just took over the case. That's why I'm calling you. I just want to remind you that I thought you might be misunderstood that those payments will be getting from the True Security. That's why I'm calling you and left you a message. So if you feel that is like harassment, that's not true, I just want to send a reminder to you. That's all.
So how the government?
Thank you for the payment, and so if you have any further question, maybe I can ask the manager to call you back, because I just want to send you a reminder, and then.
So let's use full sentences. What's the manager's name? So there's different levels at FMP, right? There's the policy makers. There's those are the upper people, right? And they make the policy so you guys are tripping over each other, ripping people off, harassing people, but you don't see it as harassment because you're just doing your job, right? You're a cog in the wheel. It's like an army, right? You know, Putin says, hey, let's go out and kill some people, right? But the army guys just know that they have a job. And you guys are like the little army guys, just shooting people down. And then it's the people above you that make the policy that know that people are getting essentially killed, right? I mean, dads are committing suicide all over Canada, and FMP employees like you just say, well, I'm just doing my job. I'm giving you this courtesy phone call, 7 days before your payment comes out, right? Just to show you, that, hey, we don't F around, right? We make people pay. If they don't pay, what happens? That you lose your driver's license, you lose your job, you lose access to your children because you got no vehicle, you lose access to your elderly parents, and with all their health conditions, you can't bring them to the hospital because you don't have a driver's license, right? We freeze all your bank accounts. We put liens on every single little thing you own, and try getting those liens off. Wow, that's a whole other story, right? Because we know how that happens, because the FMP has cost me probably $50,000 because they drag their feet when I ask them to take the lien off. And then you know what? You guys forgot to tell me you took the lien off. After like 6 months, finally the lien comes off, and I'm phoning you guys, and I say, why is the lien still on? The market's crashing. I gotta, make a move here. And you guys say, oh yeah, well, we took the lien off last week. We just kind of forgot to tell you, right? Is FMP, who's responsible at FMP? For all the suicides, for all the people, the dads losing money, for all this money that dads get fined and goes back to the government, who's responsible?
Okay, Kevin, I'm going to ask my manager. His name is Luke Richard to call you back.
Can you? I can't understand a word you're saying. Can you say that slowly? What's his name?
Luke Richard. He's going to call you back. I'm going to leave a callback message to him to call you back. Because I can't answer the question you're asking, okay?
Okay, and so you're my new caseworker? Is that what you are?
Yes.
And you took over.
So-
And you took over for who?
I already told you, Charlene thing.
Okay. Well, you can appreciate. I'm trying to figure out the order of how FMP works, right? Because you just said that you're just kind of doing your job. I don't know who told you to phone me.
I make the decision to phone you because I just want to make sure that you're clear that those security are true security, and you're still supposed to pay the child support monthly. That's all.
True security.
I'll
Yeah.
release on
So
the
essentially, the money
and
that
the manager.
Charlene said, if I don't give her,
Sorry, Clifford. I don't have time to continue this conversation. It's been like 25 minutes. So I'll ask the manager to call you back. Maybe he'll give you a better answer. Then you can discuss your file with him. Okay? So take care. I'm going to hang up. Thank you. Bye bye.
so that was FMP.